Hi everybody, I'm doing an review of a keyboard case for an iPhone 4 or 4S. It's a pretty good deal, but is it really worth it? And are you the person that needs one? Now, first off, got it from Amazon.com. Costs about $15. Just have to search Bluetooth iPhone 4/4S USB mini USB Bluetooth keyboard case. Bought it $15. Pretty good for a case. Now, alright, let's look at it. It's one of those cases where you slide the phone into it. It has directions on the case, so that's pretty good. It even tells you what everything's for. Alright, this side we have pretty good cut for your volume and mute slash volume toggle. It's got a chrome bezel that goes all around it. So, I mean, it looks nice, but, I mean, when you feel it and hold it, you can tell it's nice, but you can tell it's kind of cheap. Now, on the other side, nothing, obviously. Bottom part, you got a hole cut out for the syncing and charging slash speakers. Top, you got a huge cutout for your toggle for the standby and for your headphone jack, as well as your mic. And then on the back, you got this weird kind of camera hole. It's like recessed, but slowly it recesses in. And I mean, you can slide it open. You can use it like that too, but you can use your camera with it, which is pretty good. Now to move on to the case, slides open pretty easily. You just barely have to tap it. It's pretty springy. This is what it looks like. Some things you might notice at first is, well, it's four-layer keyboard. It has a D-pad over here. Here's the thing that might get most of you. The space bar is on the right side. It's not in the middle of the keyboard. It's like on the right-hand side. And it's basically the size of two buttons put together. Now, I found that when I used it, every time I click space, I would usually, half the time I'd hit M or N, simply because it's just usually that's where a space bar usually goes, in the middle. But the way they space it, it's not like that. There's an FN key, because you have in the light blue, you have all these functions, and you can use your FN key. You have the shift for using the top row functions or capitalizing letter. You have a caps lock. This is pretty cool. You have a home button and a search button. That's kind of useful if you're trying to quickly exit an app or something, but otherwise, it's just a nice feature to have. This side, you have an on and off switch. This on, that's off. It's on right now. Your mini USB charging port. And this button is your sync button, which you have to press it in order to sync with the phone to use it. So now I'm going to go ahead and actually hook up a phone with it and show you how it works. It's like this. It slides in pretty easily. You usually go from the volume rocker side, push in. Takes a little bit of force, but it goes in. There you go. Case. It's about as thick as taking two iPhones and gluing them together. That's about how thick it is. And here's the thing that I really it's just one of those annoying things. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but the screen is slightly above where the case ends. So if you were to put it flat on a table, the screen would be touching the table, not the case. It's not recessed in, but it's more recessed out. The case is recessed in. So, I mean, it'd be nice if you had a screen protector to protect the screen, because that is very, very susceptible to damage, because it's, not really protected. Now, to connect it, first you have to switch to the on position, which it is right now. It's to the left. You go ahead and, just a sec. You go over to your settings. General, Bluetooth, turn it on. Should find it. Now it says Bluetooth not connected. Here's one of the things that I don't like about the case is you have to, in order to sync it, you have to press the little button on the inside right over here. I'll do that really fast. Get something to press it with. Alright, it's this button. So you click it, and when you click it, when you click it, this blue light's going to turn on over here. Click the Bluetooth keyboard and it'll connect. Now, the first time you connect it, it'll come up with a little pop-up menu, and it'll say, type in this 4-digit number code, and the number is different every time. And then you click enter, and you're done, and it syncs, and now it's connected. So now, the home button, I can click home, back to the home screen. Alright, let me open up a new message really fast. Alright, so let's say I go to a message. Alright, I'm out of screen, I can type message, hey, what's up? So you can see I've gotten used to it simply because I like keyboard phones a lot, because I love texting, and that's all I pretty much do. Let's go with the usual, the quick brown fox jumped over the fence. See, that was pretty quick, and I can type way faster on this keyboard than I can on the on-screen one, simply because it's spaced out more and it's hardware. Now, one thing I do like about this is it's really easy to switch between keyboards, between the virtual and the actual keyboard, because when you're using this phone with the keyboard, you can't use the virtual one as long as it's connected Bluetoothly. So what you have to do is you have to go over to here, click FN, and then the keyboard button, and then you can use it. So then you close it, go over, and then you can, type whatever you got to, then come back. But the thing I like is that you can actually continue to type, and you'll have the virtual keyboard. I do this personally because I have all these emoticons you can use, and because it's a lot faster to punctuate and stuff, or go to your special button screens on this than it is to click the FN key, especially for exclamation point, which is right there, and the shift is right there, and it's like really hard to press. You're like sitting there really awkwardly trying to do that. So I like that. It's pretty nice because I can do the search, straight to the search. I can go home, I can double tap, do all that. Now, let me go to a note really fast. Alright, it's really nice. I like how there's a dedicated row just for numbers, because I find a lot of times I'm typing numbers. You can I can pretty quickly get to a number. I can use it nicely. It's a good case. Now here's my pros with it, and here's my cons with it. The cons, actually I'll start off with the good. Pros, it looks nice, it feels nice, it doesn't feel like it's $15. It feels like it's $30, $40 case, but you get it at the low price of $15. It's got metal on it, so it's not like some cheap plastic thing you get at a Walmart. This is actually not like plastic, it's sort of a rubberized texture, so when you're holding it, it's not just gonna slip out. It just feels like solidly built, and I like how there's a chrome bezel. It's something that will get attention. It's an attention grabber and a conversation starter. Plus, I also like how the charging port and this are on the same side, so I can charge my phone, unplug the cable, plug in the other one. Oh, forgot to mention, it comes with one charging cable, but it's just the cable. It doesn't come with the wall outlet. And what you have to do is, you know how your iPhone cable, you can just unplug that from your wall outlet, the little iPhone dock that plugs into your wall outlet. You just plug the black cable that comes with it, the mini USB one, which I'm sure everybody has by now. It just plugs into that and it charges. It takes about 3-4 hours to charge completely, but the battery lasts, get this, 45 days. That's a long time for the battery to last. Well, this is according to the spec sheet. I've only had this case for a few days, but I can tell you right now that I haven't turned it off since I got it. And I charged it for about 15 minutes when I got it. So, it's pretty good. Now, like I said earlier, the buttons are nice. They're really, really, really clickable. It's just a good case for typing, at least. Here's some cons. First, it eats up battery life like none other. Because it's connected through Bluetooth, and every time you use it, it's gonna sit there and it's gonna, your phone is gonna be using the Bluetooth function, which uses a lot of battery life. I went from 100% to 50% in 2.5 hours. That's not good at all compared to usually I get about 4 hours. So it cuts your battery life in half. And also, it's kind of bulky, because it's pretty thick. it's like gluing two iPhones together, like I said earlier, and it's just not, it just feels like, at first it feels awkward in the hand, but you get used to it. Plus, what I don't like is, see how when you slide it open, this is such a small ledge. When you rest on your finger, I mean, you'd rest it right here, like on your finger, but because it's such a small ledge, it's unbalanced and it just feels like it's about to fall or something like that. Another thing I don't like is that I don't get why it does this, but when you're connected to it, it'll hold on. Oh, it's not doing it right now. It's weird. Alright, see how it just did that? I click the home button and it goes straight to the screen you're on. It's like it bypasses the lock button and automatically just unlocks your phone if the home button's pressed. So that's really, really annoying because it turns on your screen a lot and it doesn't even it'll unlock by itself. Like, I'll just set the phone down and it'll just unlock magically by itself in like 30 seconds after I send a text message. I think it's because the Bluetooth keyboard is like connecting with it, and the phone, it just does something wrong with the software, so it unlocks it. So that also kills your battery, and it also unlocks your phone. So I mean, if you have a passcode lock, it'll stop it from locking completely, but it's just really annoying because when you look at your phone and you look at it and somehow you press like 6 buttons, but because it unlocked on its own in your pocket, it's really annoying. Another thing that I don't really like is to sync it every time you turn off Bluetooth from let's say your phone to save battery. Even if this is on, you have to use like a pen or a pencil, or in my case, a knife, to click the little button on the inside. It's like the little button on the back of a calculator, the little reset button. It's really small, and you gotta click it with something that's sharp and pointy. And you have to do that every time to unlock the case. And that's just really, really, really annoying. Yeah, it's otherwise. Now, as far as usage goes, you get used to it pretty quickly. I love keyboard phones, that's why I got it. But you get used to it pretty fast. It's a nice case, and typing-wise, it took me 1 or 2 days, and now I can type way faster than I ever would on the little virtual keyboard of the phone. But you'll get used to this button, the spacebar being on the right-hand side. I don't really use the D-pad much. You might. Thing is that if you're someone that, like me, who sends about 10,000 to 11,000 texts a month, which averages about to 400 a day, 400 to 600 a day, this case is not worth it because it just drains the crap out of your battery. And especially when you're I'm not sitting here typing like 5-page papers on my phone that I need to be sitting here with a keyboard. Thing is that if you're someone that types long emails, less than 200 to 100 emails or text messages a day, this is perfect for you. It's not going to kill your battery because your phone will automatically disconnect from the Bluetooth thing and reconnect on its own when you're using it. It's only when you turn off the Bluetooth function from the phone that you have to reconnect it using the little reset button. But otherwise, yeah, for me, I use it for about 2 or 3 days, and now, I mean, I'd have to charge the phone like 3 times a day. And that's just something that I can't deal with. Especially when I don't just use my phone for texting, I use it for Facebook and other functions. So, all in all, good case. Like the design, especially love the idea. But one few things I'd like to see better are spacebar move to the middle. It's not backlit, so you can't type at night. Sorry, I forgot to talk about that. And, I don't know, just refine the case a little, make the phone a little more recessed in the case so it's actually a case that protects the screen. Battery's nice. Switch this button to an actual button you can just press. Now, on the new cases, the new versions of this is like the first gen, I guess, whatever you want to call it. The new ones have all of that stuff fixed. The spacebar's in the middle, the sync button's on the side. It doesn't drain your battery like as much, but it's $50. But you can get this one for $15, so it's a trade-off. Oh, and the new ones have backlit keyboards. This doesn't. Yeah, all in all, that's about it. Worth it if you're not someone that likes to, that doesn't sit there and text all day, but needs something to hammer out a couple long emails, or it came from a BlackBerry or something that had a good keyboard on it. It's a good transition. But it's not for someone who talks a lot, texts a lot. Yeah, thanks.